Elon Musk has issued a huge alert about artificial intelligence. I'm not sure if you have heard about this. And even if you think that you don't use AI in any way, shape, or form, you may be mistaken. Some of you already use it and you may not realize that that is actually what you're using. But why should we be concerned? What is Elon trying to warn us about artificial intelligence? Let's get into that segment here. This is from Fox and Friends. Listen to this.
All right, listen up. This morning, a massive development on the AI front. Elon Musk and other major tech leaders calling for a pause on giant artificial intelligence experiments. In an open letter, they warn this: AI systems with human competitive intelligence can pose profound risk to society and should be planned for and managed with commensurate care. Unfortunately.
Okay, this piece right here. AI systems with the human competitive intelligence can pose profounding risk to society. That's one hell of a statement. Immediately when I saw this story, I thought about Black Mirror. Have you guys ever watched the show Black Mirror? Black Mirror is like a futuristic version of the Twilight Zone, so to speak, right? Each episode somehow involves technology in a different way, shape, or form, but there's usually a bad side to that technology, right? So that's how Black Mirror works. And there was an episode of Black Mirror where they actually had robot dogs in the future. So instead of having actual police, that was not a thing. The robot dogs were policing the people. But the robot dogs went astray and they started to see any human being as a threat. So instead of those robot dogs attacking the criminals, the robot dogs started to attack all human beings. So eventually it got to the point where there were very few people left and those people were hiding out from the robot dogs. Technology gone wild. But the fact that Elon is saying this can pose profound risk to society, yikes. Sable says Robot Dog 2024. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's on Netflix. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Unfortunately, this level of planning and management is not happening. It says it should be planned for and managed with commensurate care. Unfortunately, it's not happening.
This level of planning and management is not happening. Society has hit pause on other technologies with potentially catastrophic effects. Therefore, we call on all AI labs to immediately pause for at least 6 months.
He is asking all of the AI labs to halt for 6 months. This is serious. You know, at first when I read the headline about this story, I was like, okay, whatever. And then I read more into it and I was like, oh, he's asking them to stop. 6 months. We have a company here in Boston called Boston Robotics. They have made some interesting robots. They have a cheetah robot. A cheetah. You'd be surprised what you could see. They have a robot that can actually do construction work. I think I've played that clip on the show before. Yeah, robot just out there doing construction. Crazy times, guys.
The training of AI systems. Fox News contributor Douglas Murray joins us now. Douglas, he wants regulations and parameters.
Yes, Boston Dynamics. Sorry about that. Thank you, Lawrence.
Obviously, AI needs a certain level of expertise to do that. Your reaction to these 1,000 experts headed by Elon Musk and this letter that's now out there?
It's an extraordinary letter, I have to say. Pretty much unprecedented. I mean, these are people at the absolute forefront of the technology we're talking about who are expressing deep concern. I mean, to call for a 6-month moratorium, basically on further advancements in the area, suggests that they're deeply worried about this.
Yep.
I mean, this has been coming on us for 25 years now, so it shouldn't be that much of a surprise that the ability of effectively the computers to go faster than we can go on the treadmill, that the treadmill of technology is running faster than we humans can run. We've known this for a long time, but the fact that there has now been this stressing that we could be in trouble.
Right.
This is unprecedented.
So,
Yes, this is very alarming. Baby Ethernet, he's asking them to stop AI research for what reason specifically? Yeah, they were just kind of vague about it. And he just said, basically, this is now considered a threat to society. But he didn't give actual specifics. Maybe in the letter he does. It's a long letter. So maybe in that letter he does. But apparently not so much publicly.
So what they're saying is the smartest people amongst us who do this for a living said they've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And chatbot is now on this fourth GPT-4. It's now on this fourth innovation. And the creator says that he is scared about what it can be.
Yeah.
And we should feel happy that the creator is concerned about what it should become because he has a governor on it, but he does not know how big this can get.
Well, look at it.
If the creator tells you it's a threat, anytime you hear that from the person who created it, you really need to be concerned.
This way, every institution of learning in this country has some kind of technology to work out if somebody is, for instance, plagiarizing. The plagiarizing technology has been with us for some years now. ChatGPT technology to work out whether or not the essay, the product, has actually been produced by an individual or by ChatGPT. We don't have that technology yet. No teacher in America can actually work that out. So we're already in a state where the technology is running faster than teachers in America can run.
Right.
And
the creators don't know what this is capable of.
They don't know what it's capable of.
The technology now can actually code faster than coders too. That's the other thing. Some of my friends, they're coders. So that's why I know about that as well. Like, yeah, the technology is faster. And to Apollo's point, it could put a lot of people out of work.
Yeah, I mean, to call for a 6-month sort of ban on this, I think it's quite extraordinary. We've known for about a quarter of a century now that this is coming. It actually comes from the 90s when Kasparov, the great chess champion, was beaten.
Now lives here in New York City.
Exactly, was beaten by the computer. And he said then, in his notes, he said, the worry I have is that the computer isn't calculating, it's thinking. We are 25 years on from that now, and the computers are thinking.
So they told us when computer is crazy. Computers revolutionized our life, no question. The iPhone revolutionized our life, no question. They say this is even more revolutionary than those two things. That's how important this moment is.
Yes.
Remember when Brian Gumbo made those statements on the Today Show? What's this internet thing? What's this whole? They didn't understand, and they were the #1 show, the top network, and that looks funny to us now. That's this will look to us at one point. Just your final thought on this letter.
The computers are smarter than the people.
Can you imagine? The internet has revolutionized our lives in so many ways. It's like the printing press in the Middle Ages. We don't know what the consequences of this are going to be, and we are currently living through an era where it's printing press after printing press is being discovered underneath us.
Right. And Douglas, it's just so important for everyone to know these are the smartest people amongst us who are demanding a global pause, not a arbitrary senator from a state. No. This is for real.
Just want to pause here so you can see the future of life signatories. So there's Elon Musk, there's Steve Wozniak, now he's from Apple, and there's Andrew Yang, all tech industry people, and they are saying pause it. Now, what I do not know is if something happened that actually sent the alarm to them. What happened with AI that made them react this way? I don't know. Andrew Yang has been on here before. This wasn't happening at the time, but he's been on this show before. And this is scary. This is scary.
And look at some of these people from Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, to Elon Musk, Andrew Yang here in New York. Thanks so much,
amazing.
Douglas. All right.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
Well. Now, some of you may be thinking that you actually do not use any form of artificial intelligence, but I beg to differ. I want to show you how AI actually works in everyday life. We're going to go ahead and share this clip here. You may be using it and you may not know.
Every day, AI helps people with their personal lives, jobs, transportation, education, health, and more, maybe even without them realizing it. Here are some examples of AI in action on a typical day. In the morning, a teenager wakes up and uses facial recognition to unlock her phone.
How many of you do this? How many of you use facial recognition for your phones? Type a yes in the chat if you do that. I don't do it. I tried to do it one time. It didn't work. And I was like, forget it. I'll just do it the old school way and enter my password. But that's one example of you using AI in your everyday life.
She scrolls through social media feeds to see what's new. Then she asks the voice assistant on her phone what the weather is going to be like that day so she knows how to dress for school. A college student uses an app on his phone to deposit a birthday check from his grandmother. He takes a photo of the check, and the app automatically reads the handwriting to figure out the amount. It then deposits it into his account.
How many of you have done that?
Meanwhile, a younger student uses a different app that is teaching her a new language. The app listens to what she says and can recognize what she's saying even if she makes mistakes. The app then gives her personalized feedback on her pronunciation. At the same time, a person gets in their car to go to work, and the navigation system plans the fastest route based on current traffic.
GPS. I'm a big user of GPS. You kind of want to use that here in Boston. The roads are crazy, okay? But GPS is probably one of the most common ones that's been mentioned so far that we use, right?
In the car, they listen to a music streaming service, which already knows what types of songs they like based on what they listened to before. When a factory worker arrives
Spotify
at her job, she sees that, as usual, humans and robots are both assembling cars. The robots do some of the more dangerous or repetitive tasks, like welding or painting. AI helps the robots recognize the tools they need to pick up or check parts to make sure they have been cut exactly right. When the cars are completed, computers help manage inventory and plan efficient shipping routes to deliver them around the world. Now, meet a farmer who's checking on her crops. She notices that some of her plants look unhealthy. She pulls out her smartphone and uses an app to take a photo of the leaves. The app can detect crop disease and also identify harmful insects. The app identifies the problem and recommends treatment.
That one I was not aware of at all. So that one was a new one to me.
A surgeon is using AI to help make a medical diagnosis for a patient, and then a robot helps her perform a successful surgery. Afterwards, she goes to visit patients in a nursing home, where robots gently lift seniors in and out of bed and help them move around. In the meantime, a traveler needs to book a flight to another city. An automated customer service chatbot helps him book his ticket on the phone. Once he's on board, autopilot flies the plane for much of the flight.
Autopilot on the plane.
AI is even used in space. On the International Space Station, an astronaut talks to a free-floating robot that helps with chores and does jobs that are risky for humans. Now that you've learned about how other people use AI every day, think about how you use it. Spend a few minutes thinking about this question. What are 3 ways that you or someone you know uses AI?
Yeah, you guys can enter that in the chat if you want. But for me, I was like, no, I don't really use. And I was like, I do. Miguel says the plant apps are useless. They want you to tell it what the plant is. Thank you for the super chat. Julio says, yes, begrudgingly, I see. Yeah, I mean, Desert Mantis says, hey, Siri, do I use AI? There you go. Lots of different examples. Sometimes, like when we mention artificial intelligence, people tend to think about, robots, right? Robotics or whatever. But no, I mean, there's more simpler versions of AI that we use.
The video you just watched is part of a lesson that helps people learn about AI. To see the entire Discover AI in Daily Life lesson, visit the Applied Digital Skills website. The full lesson discusses some benefits and challenges of AI, helps you use AI to make a set of learning language flashcards,
And if you go to this channel, if you want to see more, here you go. Because it is the Google channel. It's the Google channel. They have so much more machine learning and human bias, Google Keynote. Check out that channel if you want to see more information. But yeah, looks like we're using it more than we may realize, guys. That's what it looks like to me.